my recent perusal of social media, which is ever increasingly so eloquent and so good at depicting the current events of the world, which, you know, you got to give it to Meta and all those social media outlets out there that are just getting better and better at really fine-tuning the algorithm for their individual user base. Be that as it may, for better or for worse, probably for worse, because it creates echo chambers, because it just keeps feeding you things that, you know, kind of align with your own worldview. But what I've been seeing, and what I've always seen, but now it's just getting more and more ridiculous, is reels and posts that just make just evident the degree of absolute wanton corruption and complete disregard for the wants and needs of the American subject, the American voting populace, that the current government is showing. Not the current government, the government is showing just the complete disregard for what people want. And the comments under some of these posts are, some, if not all of these posts, are just full of people who are just holding on so desperately to the idea that Trump is separate or fighting the deep state, and that he's not an integral part of the whole thing. And it's so sad to see, if it's real. Of course, you never know if the people that you see commenting are even people in the first place. You know, you never know if it's just bots or, you know, people that are, or bots that are there to steer opinion. But the cynic in me makes me think that it's actual real people that refuse to. One guy even said, "I'm not going to throw in the towel yet. You still haven't seen the fireworks yet. It's all part of the plan. You know, Trump he's just acting like he's part of the deep state." It's just ridiculous shit like that, you know. But, you know, at the same time, it's to be expected, because the entire thing is a religion from the very get-go. It's a religious dogmatic belief that people hold on to desperately, mainly because the alternative is so scary. It's so scary to think that, man, there's this deep state thing, this giant government, you know, bureaucratic, just nefarious organization that's there to really screw us over and to delete our rights and to enslave us perpetually. It's scary to admit that. And so what people automatically do instead is, well, they might admit to that, but then they immediately jump to the whole idea that there's people within the system that care. There's people within the system that are fighting the corruption. You know, it's the white hats. It's the white hats that are out there fighting the good fight in the system, and they're fighting the corruption, and the good guys win in the end. And it's just all bullshit. It is all complete horseshit. And it pains me to admit that, because even I would like to think that, oh yeah, there's good people in the system, and it's like, you know, they have some sway, and there's workings in the background that are ultimately going to result in something more favorable to myself, you know. But, it's just not the case. It's all it is just wishful thinking disguised as something other than that. The whole Q thing that was going on for a long time. It's it's funny because that's been kind of put to the wayside a little bit. People, like most of the people that believe in that stuff, I think no longer do, but it's like vestiges of that are still showing up here and there on the internet. And it's just of people that constantly they just don't want to accept reality for what it is. And the reality is that there really isn't anybody serving government who has the best interest of the people in mind. Nobody who seeks political power or any sort of power over their fellow countrymen is either fit to be in that sort of position of power, or deserves to be in that position of power in the first place. The people that you would ideally want to rule over you, which I've shed that belief as well. I don't believe anybody should have the right to use coercion against me to do whatever they want to do. I completely reject that by virtue of being an anarchist. But even if I wanted somebody to rule over me, it's never going to be the guy that's just chomping at the bit to get into that position of power. I don't want those people are the control freaks that ultimately would just bring me to ruin. And those are the people that gravitate towards positions of power. And the people that don't, the people that have a shred of decency and a shred of humanity in them, they don't last in the cutthroat world of ruling classes and of statism. I mean, just look at MTG as an example. But the thing that I wanted to kind of scratch on and talk about a little bit was just this idea that as the years go by, as the years go on, the propaganda gets more and more sloppy. It gets more and more just childlike, and the rulers that should not be, the powers that should not be, they don't really care as much what people think. They don't care as much about the image of what it is that they're doing. So case in point, this entire thing that's going on, that's went on in Venezuela, the ostensible reason for the snatching and grabbing of Maduro was kind of twofold. It was the whole idea of, we're gonna rein in these narco traffickers, and we're gonna get rid of a nasty dictator. And they're not even trying to hide the actual legitimate, it's not legitimate, but the actual reason behind the invasion of Venezuela. They're not hiding the fact that they wanted the oil. Like Trump just verbatim, just outspokenly says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna handle the oil so much better," like blah blah blah. And then the whole idea of Venezuela not having a central bank. Now they're gonna get a central bank by virtue of of what's going on, of our imperialism. And they're going to get a very Israeli-friendly president in place of the guy that was there before. And so all of these Venezuelans, whether they're paid actors or whether they're legitimately happy that the guy's been booted out, that Maduro's been booted out, they got another thing coming, just like all of these other countries that have been invaded in the past. That's all the countries in the Middle East or what have you. They're going to get a Rothschild central bank, They're going to get an Israeli-friendly an Israeli-friendly cabinet, an Israeli-friendly government, and they're going to reap the oh-so-wonderful benefits of that. And none of this is, there isn't even the slightest bit of effort to try to argue on the part of the ruling class and their controlled media. There's no effort at even trying to contest that at all. Like, they don't even care anymore that the agenda is becoming more and more blatantly obvious. Trump's out there already talking about invading Colombia. He's already talking about invading Cuba, taking over. And it's just all right there for everybody to see. Everybody, all the the reporters right there asking the questions with the microphone. It's all on all on live television, and it's all there, plain as day. And yet there are still people that think that this sort of stuff is going on to benefit them. There's still people wearing the MAGA caps. And there's still people who believe in the system, believe in the white hats and whatnot, that what is being done is to their benefit. Oh yeah, we invaded Venezuela so we can stop the fentanyl from coming in here, even though all the fentanyl is coming from China. It's there to help us. No, it's not. It's not there to help us at all. It never has been. It never will be. And it's time that people start to realize that, and they start to realize that the whole thing is corrupt at its core. It's not that government is a legitimate institution if it's done in the right way. It's not that it's a legitimate institution if the taxes pay for the things that we like for them to pay for. It's rotten to the core. And I truly, truly wish that people would realize that and understand that. But that's the video for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.